What is up guys, and welcome to another video. So today I will do a bit of a comparison between the Nintendo Switch and the new Nintendo 3DS. And this is just the 3DS and not the 3DS XL, but they are basically the same systems. The only thing obviously is that the screens are smaller and you have these swappable faceplates. But yeah, let's start actually with what I think is something quite interesting. And that is the game cartridge sizes. So let's start with those. I have Ocarina of Time 3D here. And as you can see, like the Breath of the Wild, well, the Switch cartridge is so much smaller. I thought that was kind of interesting because you would expect the bigger game in terms of file size to have a larger cartridge, but it's actually the reverse. So I found that to be kind of interesting. But let's leave the games behind for a bit. And let's look at the, first of all, exterior. So obviously the Switch doesn't fold like the Nintendo DS does, or 3DS, which is something that I kind of miss because it's always been so convenient to just close the lid and then throw it in any kind of, like, I use this thing as a protection bag. It's basically something that I got in with my mouse or something, and it's always been very convenient to just throw this into that one. But with this one, you have this screen that is so unprotected. I have a screen protector on that you can probably see. It's actually quite thick. It's tempered glass, but yeah. So you definitely need one of those, but you don't really need a screen protector on the 3DS. But let's compare the sizes. As you can see here, if we place it like this, entire 3DS system fits inside like the Switch tablet itself. And I would imagine that the 3DS XL is probably around the size of the entire like tablet. More or less. I think it's a bit wider and taller as well. But yeah. As for thickness, the Switch is a lot thinner, because if we were to stack them on top of each other, it would look something, it's kind of weird to get the camera angles in. It would look something like this. So yeah, the Switch is thinner. Yeah. Moving on to ports. So both of them have a headphone jack. 3DS have it on the bottom. The Switch has one on the top here. They both, as I said, take cartridges. And they have, volume rockers as well. The new 3DS has it on the side here. And they charge, the Switch uses USB-C, which in my opinion, it is far superior compared to this port right here, which is Nintendo's own port. I don't know why they're using it, because it's literally only the DS system that uses this. The Switch having a USB-C type USB-C port is definitely a win, because those are so much easier to get a hold on if you are out traveling or something. Because to be honest, these are traveling systems. I mean, you can dock it, but yeah. And as you know, the USB-C port is also used to output video through the dock to a TV or a monitor or something. The 3DS can't do anything of that. And the Switch also has a kickstand, which is literally worthless because the angle really sucks. Moving on to buttons and input. So both of them have analog sticks or analog movement. They are mostly used as. The Switch has sticks, while the 3DS has this thing, which actually feels really nice when playing. And then the new systems, the 2DS, the new 3DS XL obviously, and the new 3DS. Basically the 3DS systems with the new branding on them. They have this C-nub, which not many games use actually. But still, both have the A, B, X and Y buttons. D-pad, so this is isn't really a real D-pad, but yeah, it's used as one. And of course the main selling points of the 3DS is that it supports 3D. Where you have the slider here. I know I'm in the minority here, but in my opinion, with the new systems, so the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL, the 3D is actually quite amazing. Like, I used it when I was playing through A Link Between Worlds. I haven't finished that yet. I think it's A Link Between Worlds. And then Ocarina of Time 3D. Through the entire game, I thought the 3D was amazing because there's some new sensor up here that tracks your head movement. So the 3D is actually following your head, so you always get the perfect 3D picture or experience. And it's actually quite amazing. And you really don't get that experience on the Switch. But instead, the Switch, what it is offering over the 3DS, is far superior hardware in terms of the CPU and GPU power. The graphics that the Switch can output are honestly far superior to the 3DS. Like if we take Breath of the Wild, for example, this game right here, it looks far superior compared to the Ocarina of Time in terms of graphics. Obviously gameplay is different, but in terms of graphics, like Breath of the Wild looks so much better. And obviously, like I almost forgot it, but the screen size, we put them like that. As you can see, like the Switch screen, like the actual screen, is a lot bigger obviously than the 3DS. I think this is like 3 point something inches and this is 6.2 inches. And then we have the speakers. So the speakers on the Switch are located here. Let's put away the game. And up here on the 3DS. New 3DS. And to be honest, I think that the Switch speaker sounds a lot better. It might be because the music on the 3DS games, like it's not as detailed, it sounds a bit tinny at times. And then obviously the Switch has these detachable controllers that you can use like this if you're playing with a friend, or put them in the Joy-Con grip, which I don't have here at the moment. And then you can like hold it like this and the other one in the other hand. So that is basically the hardware comparison between the Switch and the 3DS. Alright, so which one of these consoles should you buy? To be honest, my bet goes on the Nintendo Switch. So the reason behind that is the Switch is far more superior in terms of graphical power, and I think it's honestly nicer to play. It plays better in your hand while you're holding it and, you know, pushing the buttons. The 3DS feels a bit more cramped up. It is more portable though, but as I said as well, the Switch is also far more powerful. So developers will want to, you know, port their games to the Switch and make new games to the Switch instead of making them on the 3DS. Nintendo has said that they will keep supporting the 2DS, or sorry, the 3DS. And they also launched 2DS kind of to prove it, the new 2DS XL, to prove that. But this is essentially based on hardware from 2011. So I don't think they will keep supporting it for too much longer now that they have the Switch. The 3DS doesn't offer anything that the Switch doesn't at the current moment. There is one thing though, and that is the game library. So if you are really attracted to the 3DS library, and you know it plays DS games as well, I almost forgot to mention it, but since it's playing DS as well as 3DS games, this console has a massive library. The Switch really doesn't. So if you are looking to buy a new console, I would buy the Switch in 2017. But if you're a bit worried about the games on the Switch, if you only find one or a few games that seem interesting to you, but if you find a bunch of games on the 3DS or the 2DS that you think seem really interesting, then I would buy the Switch. Or, then I would buy the 3DS. Or the new 3DS. It really depends on what you are looking for in these consoles. As I said, if you want a big, vast game library, then go for the 3DS. If you are looking for the far superior in terms of just pure power, then I would go for the Switch. Also, there is a price difference. The new 3DS is like $150 or $170 or something, if I remember correctly, and the Switch is $300. If you decided to buy yourself a 3DS system, which one should you buy? Well, to be honest, I would personally, if I were to buy a 3DS system, I would buy the new 3DS XL. Because I want the larger screen and the 3D. But if you don't care for the 3D, then I would buy the new to the SXL, because it still has that new branding in it, so you will be able to play any new exclusive games, and it basically offers the same as the 3DS equivalent, but it has a lower price tag. So yeah, that is just my thoughts on these systems and the comparison between them. Honestly, both of them are worth buying, but they are for kind of two different people. Yeah, anyways, if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next one.